Look,
You can be
even if that shows Jay, that's not what it was. You think I went and made that map, dude? Don't F with me, dude.
I didn't make the map. Dude, I'm trying to be respectful here. Can we like be professional, like you said?
I don't care what you
right here.
I'm telling you what I got.
Look, the videos a year ago, it was G. Okay.
No, it wasn't, because this. All right, here, how about this? Like, I don't know why y'all mad. Like, come on.
Because you bullshitting. That's why. I said how the clades are assigned. Go back to the fucking shit from the beginning.
How the consortium.
And listen to the thing. Stop lying on us. You doing.
Look, how the consortium makes a decision. That's what was said. Now you're up here twisting things because you feeling a little funny because you asked a silly question.
My ass. We could go 1-to-1. We could go 1-to-1. We could fight. But I'm not laying down. I don't roll like that. My body, my choice. Nigga. F all y'all. I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
So y'all know from the very beginning, when we started this ministry, we told y'all the reason why we didn't show our faces is because the Most High told us not to.
Wait, that don't sound right. Just wait 1 second, that don't sound right.
There have been studies going back to the 1920s demonstrating that manic depressive insanity, as it was originally called, has a genetic basis. There were studies in the 1920s in Germany that showed that manic depression runs in families, and also showing that identical twins are more likely to share both having the illness than are fraternal twins. And that suggests the genetic basis for the illness, since identical twins share 100% of their DNA and fraternal twins only 50%. In the modern era, there have been many more studies of that sort. Family studies showing that bipolar disorder and depression run in families, and twin studies showing that increased sharing, or concordance as we call it.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Look, even if that shows Jay, that's not what it was. You think I went and made that map, dude? Don't F with me, dude.
I didn't. Dude, I'm trying to be respectful here. Can we like be professional, like you said?
Well, you weren't professional when you were stalking me and
you freaking accused me of changing stuff, dude. Don't even play with me.
This is the J1 map. Sister E, can you please?
That is G. When I pulled it up, which was about a year ago.
The link is right here.
I don't care what you right here. I'm telling you what I got.
Look, the videos a year ago, it was G. Okay.
No, it wasn't, because this. All right. Here, how about this? We'll see how old this is.
Just continue let the guy do his presentation.
Do your damn presentation.
You will. Like, I don't know why y'all mad. Like, come on.
Because you bullshitting. That's why.
Let's stop letting these guys go unchecked. Who exactly is TEO Ministries? Who are the so-called TEO twins? Yakoba Evo and TEO Yahoo. Why all the secrecy? Why have these guys gone to such extraordinary lengths to conceal their identities? This is the million-dollar question that many have asked. Who are these twin brothers who claim that the Most High instructed them to keep their faces hidden? Yeah, right. yet have no hesitation, no problem with using my face to spread complete lies and falsehoods about me. So who are they? These guys are so secretive that they wrote a book based on their wild assumptions that the true Israel is located in Ethiopia.
There's actually a lot of evidence to the contrary of that. That again, even for example, the text that I mentioned, the Kemet Nagash, which is from the 14th century, the 1300s CE, it tells the story of the again the Queen of Sheba and Solomon, and it actually tells a story about their son Menelik, who actually later on went from Ethiopia up to Jerusalem. And there's no sense, again, they're talking about him going from Ethiopia to Jerusalem, through the Arabian Peninsula and through Egypt. And so there's no sense whatsoever in Ethiopian sources themselves that indicate that Jerusalem is actually, in Africa, because they describe Jerusalem as another place. And around that same time, when the Kemet Nagash was written, there was a whole city that was constructed called Lalibela, and Lalibela was built in as the capital of Ethiopia, and that was right kind of towards the end of the Crusades, like in the 12th century, and Crusades between Islamic forces in the east and Western European Christians in the west. And a big issue in the Crusades was pilgrimage. That's what the Europeans, the excuse they were using for fighting the Crusades was the pilgrims can't go to Jerusalem to visit. And in Ethiopia also did the same thing. They valued pilgrimage to Jerusalem and going to these holy sites from the Bible. But, because the Crusades really limited Christians' ability to visit Jerusalem, including even Ethiopians, they built the city of Lalibela to be a Jerusalem in Ethiopia. So again, King Lalibela built Lalibela to be like a Jerusalem in Africa, but there was no sense that actually was Jerusalem. But it was to be like a pilgrimage site for Ethiopians if they can't get to Jerusalem. So even the fact that in and of itself shows that Ethiopians themselves did not consider Jerusalem to be in Africa, and constantly any Ethiopian source or text would refer to Jerusalem as a place that's up in the Near East, in the Levant, and not in Africa.
These guys are so secretive that they wrote a book based on their wild assumptions that the true Israel is located in Ethiopia. However, they refuse to stand by or take accountability for their content by failing to include their real names anywhere in the book. This video is intended for those who are newly awakened to the realization of their identity as blood descendants of ancient Israelites and remain unaware of who these so-called prophets truly are. Let's begin by addressing their temperament and their lack of integrity. Here's a clip showing them losing their composure after being caught telling a blatant lie, altering an image of the J haplogroup DNA map from Wikipedia for their PowerPoint presentation. I want to warn you that this clip, along with others featuring the Teo brothers, contains profanity, an unfortunate display from individuals who claim to be ministers. Who ordained them? Who actually laid hands on them? Where are they licensed?
Sister, can you show my?
So I will say this much. Let's do this. If you say that someone's map is wrong, you have to show definitive proof.
I have. That's why I asked, can you show my screen? Because I have the proof for everyone. This is it. He keeps showing this map, and this is J1. Why are you showing the J1 map for haplogroup?
Not J1.
Yes, it is. I can push it.
I got the link in my video.
Can you show us the link right now?
If that is J1, they changed it.
No, this has always been J1.
No.
I can push the thing.
No, this was G, dude. Don't even play with me.
No, this is not G. This literally says J1.
I got the map.
Everybody in the chat, type in haplogroup J1 map.
I'm telling you, I got the reference in the freaking video, dude.
Everybody, Sister E, can you be neutral and type in haplogroup J map and see if this pops up?
Look,
you can be
even if that shows J, that's not what it was. You think I went and made that map, dude? Don't F with me, dude.
I didn't. Dude, I'm trying to be respectful here. Can we be professional, like you said?
You weren't professional when you were stalking me and trolling me.
Yeah, and you freaking accused me of changing stuff, dude. Don't even play with me.
This is the J1 map. Sister E, can you please?
That is G. When I pulled it up, which was about a year ago.
The link is right here.
I don't care what you look at. I'm telling you what I got.
Look, the videos a year ago, it was G. Okay.
No, it wasn't, because this. All right. Here, how about this? We'll see how old this is.
Just continue let the guy do his presentation.
Do your damn presentation.
You go. Like, I don't know why y'all mad. Like, come on.
Because you bullshitting. That's why. Because you bullshitting. That's why. Because you bullshitting. That's why.
You guys are going to serve as the lie detector test. Unfortunately, since they refuse to show their faces, we cannot establish a baseline through body language or facial cues, such as their eyes. However, we can still rely on their voices as a measurable indicator. Now, don't be fooled by their good cop, bad cop routine, with Yakoba's vulgar and profanity-laced outbursts contrasted by Teo's seemingly calm, voice of reason demeanor. Both employ signature patterns designed to deflect accountability and avoid being exposed. One through angry, disrespectful tirades.
I didn't say. I said how the clades are assigned. Go back to the fucking shit at the beginning.
How the consortium.
And listen to the thing. Stop lying on us, dude. See, you doing.
Well,
you gonna control yourself like a man, my G.
And the other by shifting blame onto others for triggering such behavior.
Look, how the consortium makes a decision. That's what was said. Now you're up here twisting things because you're feeling a little funny because you asked a silly question. You asked a silly question. You feel a certain way. You shouldn't have asked that question because it was disrespectful.
I feel silly.
It was.
Hey, check this out. I don't feel.
You know
silly.
it was. You do.
Now let's get going. This discussion took place 4 years ago on September 20th, 2020 on Sister E's channel. During this discussion, TEOTW Ministries intentionally misled their followers by taking the J-map image from Wikipedia and inserting the letter G, which is their DNA haplogroup, next to it in their PowerPoint presentation. The screenshot displayed here is from their video titled Haplogroups, Getting to the Truth of DNA and Haplogroups, streamed on September 15th, 2019.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
So here's a map of where they show where G is. And that big, dark, red spot, maroon spot, 60 to 100% of it was G directly in the Levant. And as we read to you, G originated where? In the Middle East, right? Lands given to Israel. White men and white Jews. According to some articles, haplogroup G is found among Caucasian, Iranians, Turks, Jews, etc. If haplogroups identify familiar relationships, we have a few questions to ask. And let your E1B1A scholars please answer these. Why are there people of different ethnic groups? Why don't these people have the same blood type, right? Why are most white people R1B? Why doesn't my haplogroup match my autosomal that points to Congo, Nigeria, Angola, Togo, etc.? Okay, so like we told you guys, we are G2A4, G2A4, G2A4.
Notice the letter G positioned to the top left of the map. Let me be clear. The image you see was deliberately altered and included in their PowerPoint presentation to mislead viewers into believing that their information is valid. Now let's uncover their lies, deceptions, and reckless behavior, starting with this set of clips. I provided the link to the image in the description box so you can follow along with me. Now let's head to the Internet Archive, specifically the Wayback Machine, to verify who's telling the truth. Let's go to the May 23rd, 2018 snapshot of the original Wikipedia page featuring the J-mapped image, because this is the closest snapshot to the September 15th, 2019 date. And as you can see, there is no mention of a G haplogroup. It clearly states J. I've added arrows to draw your attention to key elements on this snapshot of the original page. The first arrow points to the menu or additional links. The second arrow indicates the name of the file, and the third arrow, located at the top right corner of the screen, points to the date of the snapshot for this page. To be fair, let's go to November 12th, 2016 and see if there was a change between the two snapshots. Again, I've added arrows to draw your attention to key elements on this snapshot of the original page. The first arrow points to the menu or additional links. The second arrow indicates the file name. And the third arrow, located at the top right corner of the screen, points to the date of the snapshots for each page. Let's take this a step further. Let's examine the original page, posted on July 1st, 2013, to verify if the image and information remain the same. I've added arrows to draw your attention to key details on this snapshot of the original page. The first arrow points to the menu or additional links. The second arrow identifies the file name, and the third arrow, located at the top right corner of the screen, indicates the date of the snapshot. As you can see, it's the exact same map with no reference to the G haplogroup. This confirms that TEOTW Ministries blatantly lied and attempted to bully the young man who exposed their deception. Now, to make matters worse, they accuse him of provoking them into using profanity. Unfortunately, this isn't an isolated incident, but one incident is one incident too many. A more fitting term for this repeated behavior would be episodes. These episodes are associated with bipolar disorder. So the question is, what is bipolar disorder?
Why doesn't my haplogroup match my autosomal that points to Congo, Nigeria, Angola, Togo, etc.? Okay, so like we told you guys, we are G2A4.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
Before I explain bipolar disorder, I'm going to talk a little nerdy to you. I'm going to get a little geeky with you. I want to address a couple of things before we continue. I want to answer the fourth question Teo from TEOTW Ministries asked. He asked the question, why doesn't my haplogroup match my autosomal that points to Congo, Nigeria, Angola, Togo, and etc.? Well, simple answer, because your father or grandfather is of European descent. Specifically, your father's lineage traces back to Caucasian ancestry, not a Negro lineage. This means that your modern paternal line is not connected to any of the tribes across the African continent, including the so-called Middle East, which is actually Northeast Africa. Instead, your father's lineage is more closely related to individuals like Ötzi, the Iceman. In fact, the TEOTW twins share a closer paternal connection to figures like Geta and Caracalla, the twin emperors of Rome, rather than any other notable ancient Israelite twins through their father's haplogroup. This is not said out of disrespect, but for clarity. Understanding this begins with knowing the differences between autosomal DNA and haplogroups. Autosomal DNA is a term used in genetic genealogy to describe DNA which is inherited from the autosomal chromosomes. An autosome is any of the numbered chromosomes as opposed to the sex chromosomes. Humans have 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. In other words, the X chromosome, which is for women, and the Y chromosome, which is for men. Autosomes are numbered roughly in relation to their sizes. That is, chromosome 1 has approximately 2,800 genes, while chromosome 22 has approximately 750 genes. There is no established abbreviation for autosomal DNA. Add DNA more common, and all DNA are used. So the question is that you guys probably have, what's the differences? what is the real differences between the two? Well, a haplogroup is a branch of the human family tree defined by a set of genetic markers, in other words, mutations, that occur in a specific ancestor and have been passed down relatively unchanged through many generations. Haplogroups are most commonly discussed for mitochondrial DNA, in other words, mtDNA, inherited from the mother, and the Y chromosome inherited by males from the father. Now, autosomal DNA refers to, again, 22 pairs of non-sex chromosomes. All chromosomes besides the X and Y. You inherit roughly half your autosomal DNA from each parent, who each inherited half from their parents, and so on. Autosomal DNA comes from all ancestral lines. It offers a more comprehensive picture of your overall genetic background. Now, haplogroups are invaluable for understanding deep paternal or maternal origins and migrations. They are a narrow but detailed lineage lens. Autosomal DNA provides a broader view of your more recent ancestry, capturing genetic contributions from many lines of your family tree over the last several centuries. The downside to autosomal DNA is that each generation reshuffles and divides autosomal DNA, which means the signal from a single ancestor can quickly get diluted. The other downside to autosomal is that certain populations overlap, and historical migrations make it hard to pinpoint precise locations or exact ethnic identities strictly by autosomal analysis. So which is better? Well, if you want deep ancient lineage information strictly about your paternal or maternal migration routes thousands of years ago, haplogroups are a stronger tool. But if you want a broader overall ancestry that identifies recent admixtures, finding relatives, or mapping out all lines of your family tree from the last few centuries, autosomal is more comprehensive.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
The second point I want to emphasize is the exchange between TEOTW Ministries and the young man they disrespected and bullied during their debate. Let's revisit that interaction.
That is G. When I pulled it up, which was about a year ago.
The link is right here.
I don't care what you look at. I'm telling you what I got.
Look, the videos a year ago, it was G. Okay.
No, it wasn't, because this. All right. Here, how about this? How about this? We'll see how old this is.
Just continue your. Let the guy do his presentation.
Do your damn presentation.
Well, like, I don't know why y'all are mad. Like, come on.
Because you bullshitting. That's why. Because you bullshitting. That's why. Because you bullshitting. That's why.
Notice how TEOTW interrupted the young man just as he was about to guide the viewers through the process of verifying the original date and the usage of Wikipedia map of the Y haplogroup image, which they had selectively modified by adding the G haplogroup. TEOTW accused the young man of stalking them and deliberately cutting him off by saying, "Let the guy do his presentation," clearly aiming to derail him from exposing the truth and walking the audience through the process we covered earlier, which proves they altered the map.
According to researchers, the G haplogroup is found in the Levant and other locations. Nowadays, haplogroup G is found all the way from Western Europe and Northwest Africa to Central Asia, India, and East Africa, although everywhere at low frequencies, generally between 1 and 10% of the population. The only exceptions are the Caucasus region, Central and Southern Italy, and Sardinia, where frequencies typically range from 15 to 30% of male lineages.
Lastly, in their deception, they used the Wikipedia haplogroup Y map and placed the G on it with the intent of proving that the G haplogroup is at the center of what is called the Levant or Northeast Africa. But that's not true. These are TEOTW's words based on the map that they changed. Quote, "The dark big red spot, maroon spot, 60% of it was G directly in the Levant."
So here's a map of where they show where G is. And that big dark red spot, maroon spot, 60 to 100% of it was G directly in the Levant.
As we proved, this is an absolute lie. The actual map of the haplogroup G displayed on your screen places the highest concentration of G outside of Northeast Africa, now called the Levant.
Nowadays, haplogroup G is found all the way from Western Europe and Northwest Africa to Central Asia, India, and East Africa. Although everywhere at low frequencies, generally between 1 and 10% of the population. The only exceptions are the Caucasus region, Central and Southern Italy, and Sardinia, where frequencies typically range from 15 to 30% of male lineages.
Also, in the same video from the clip you just watched, TEOTW Ministries read from the following site posted in the comment section. They posted and read the first paragraph from the site as source, but I'm going to read the very next paragraph to put things in its proper context. The overwhelming majority of Europeans belong to the G2A subclade, and most Northern and Western Europeans fall more specifically within G2A-3140, or to a lower extent, G2A M406. Almost all G2B, in other words, L72 plus, formerly G2C, found in Europe are Ashkenazi Jews. G2B is found from the Middle East to Pakistan and is almost certainly an offshoot of Neolithic farmers from Western Iran, where the G2B was identified in a 9,250-year-old sample by Brauschaki et al. 2016.
Why doesn't my haplogroup match my autosomal that points to Congo, Nigeria, Angola, Togo, etc.? Okay, so like we told you guys, we are G2A4.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Pump the brakes. The paragraph they intentionally excluded from their presentation provides crucial context about this haplogroup. G2 is in fact very common among Europeans, and more specifically Ashkenazi Jews. Could this be why they have gone to such great lengths to conceal their true identity? Is this why they have deceptively manipulated sources to convince their followers that they are like us, when in reality they are not like us? They are more like them. Could this also explain why they attempted to discredit the significance of DNA haplogroups, which focus on an individual parent's ancient lineage and migration patterns? Instead, they rely solely on autosomal DNA, which blends both parents' genetic contributions into one, effectively erasing these key distinctions. Say it ain't so. For those following along and reviewing each link I provided, there's an important observation to note. TEOTW Ministries openly state that their DNA haplogroup is G2A.
Okay, so like we told you guys, we are G2A4.
Now, let's take a look at the top of this webpage. Notice who appears at the top of the screen. It's Urtzi, the Iceman. His DNA haplogroup is G2A, making him their closest paternal relative. Let me be clear, this is not an attack on anyone sharing this haplogroup. However, this is all about exposing how TEOTW Ministries deliberately withheld key information from the sources they cite in order to deceive their followers. Now, I've uncovered multiple lies just in these few clips of their teachings. How many more lies have they told? How many more lies have gone unchecked?
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
So before we continue, let's see if you guys are passing the lie detector test so far. So what do you guys think? Are they lying or are they telling the truth? If you believe they are lying, type 1 or the word lie in the chat or in the comment section of this video. If you believe that they are telling the truth, type 2 or the word truth in the chat or in the comment section of this video. If you simply want to plead the fifth, don't want to make a response, don't want to take one side or the other, type 5 or lukewarm in the chat or in the comment section of the video. Let's go to another discussion they had about DNA haplogroups to confirm their bipolar behavior.
I didn't say. I said how the clades are assigned. Go back to the fucking shit at the beginning.
How the consortium.
Stop lying on us. Dude. See, you doing.
Well,
you gonna control yourself like a man, my G.
Why did these DNA discussions strike a nerve with them? Why did they blatantly lie about their G haplogroup, which is of European origin?
There have been studies going back to the 1920s demonstrating that manic depressive insanity, as it was originally called, has a genetic basis. There were studies in the 1920s in Germany that showed that manic depression runs in families, and also showing that identical twins are more likely to share both having the illness than are fraternal twins. And that suggests the genetic basis for the illness, since identical twins share 100% of their DNA and fraternal twins only 50%. In the modern era, there have been many more studies of that sort. Family studies showing that bipolar disorder and depression run in families, and twin studies showing that increased sharing, or concordance as we call it.
So the question is, what is bipolar disorder? Bipolar disorder is any of a group of mood disorders in which symptoms of mania and depression alternate. In DSM-4-TR, DSM-5, and DSM-5-TR, the group includes primarily the following subtypes: bipolar 1 disorder, in which the individual fluctuates between episodes of mania or hypomania and major depressive episodes, or experiences a mix of these. Bipolar 2 disorder, in which the individual fluctuates between major depressive and hypomaniac episodes. And cyclomythic disorder. The former official name for bipolar disorder, manic depressive illness, is still in frequent use. Now, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, the symptoms of bipolar disorder can impose serious challenges to a person's mental and physical health. People with bipolar disorder often have other medical disorders, and some people may experience symptoms of psychosis, such as hallucinations or delusions. The symptoms can interfere with everyday activities, relationships, and work or school responsibilities. When a person with bipolar disorder, particularly during a manic or psychotic episode, experiences hallucinations or delusions, these symptoms can profoundly impact their interpretation of biblical prophecies.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
Here, my question is, will you acknowledge, how many years is it going to take for you to come back and acknowledge, you know what, we had them dates mixed up, 400 years have passed, and we still in bondage? How many?
So
I just want to know so we can.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. You go ahead, and then I'm gonna go back to Mike and ask him a question too. Come on, brother Jacob. He asked you a question.
Yeah, I can respect the question. And be honest with you, for me, I'm speaking for myself, right? Because I said if it don't happen, move on. To me, if it doesn't happen in 2 years from now, then I'm gonna say, you know what, brother, I was wrong. You know, we still here. It's not the process.
We're going to talk about this current exodus going on. For those of you that are in the chat room, click those thumbs up button, please, and share this, because this is a great discussion. Now, you guys recently did a show and are doing other shows on the exodus that is currently happening. What about the brothers and sisters in prison? And also, how far do you think we are from leaving? 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it is. How far?
So the brothers in prison, they're leaving with us with the mass exodus, right? They obviously not going to be fleeing ahead of time unless they get released early, right? And they wake up to who they are. Now y'all want to put me on the spot on what I think in terms of us going to leave. Now, I know some of you all saw the debate I had with Berean. And, Mike Holloway asked me, well, if we still here 2 years from now, are you going to change your mind? I said, well, if we here 2 years from now, then maybe I got things wrong and I'm not seeing what I see. So, I might reconsider my position. So instead of me just directly answering how much, I don't think we have a lot of time left. Let me put it that way. Okay. Let me put it that way. And I think it's less than 2 years, very much less. And I think it's less than 2 years, very much less. And I think it's less than 2 years, very much less. Russia went and encircled Ukraine first, right? Remember that? And they were having an exercise. Now you got Russian ships on the coast of American land. Chinese ships on the coast of American land. Surrounding this nation. Sounds similar to what happened when they went into Ukraine. And just so happens there's going to be an exercise in February, right before Passover. What's that scripture I read in the other day? And the Exodus is supposed to happen on a Passover, according to the Septuagint. Is that Jeremiah 28 in the Septuagint? I don't believe in that. I don't believe in coincidences. Guess we find out really soon who's correct. That's right. Don't believe me. Ain't no 400-year prophecy. Stay in your delusion, if you will. I'm a little out of, so I'm sick, family. I ain't feeling well. Y'all got to give me a pass.
People with bipolar disorder can have experiences they view as religious or spiritual. Such experiences can make a big impression upon them. These usually occur during mania. During mania, people might experience the presence of God or the presence of a divine reality. Sometimes they feel strongly connected or even at one with nature, with humanity as a whole, with the universe, or with the divine. Others might feel they have an important mission in the world, or think they are an influential religious person. Another experience reported is the feeling of synchronicity. Everything seems connected and nothing is perceived as coincidental anymore.
During manic episodes, individuals may create entirely new interpretations or doctrines, often based on their delusional beliefs. Delusions may drive individuals to selectively focus on verses that seem to confirm their paranoid thoughts. Individuals experiencing delusions may struggle to accept alternate interpretations of Scripture, even from religious authorities, due to the conviction that their understanding is divinely inspired. If the person has a platform, a ministry, or followers, their distorted interpretations of prophecy may mislead others, particularly those who view them as a spiritual authority.
It's time, family. All the fasting, all the prayer, all the cleansing, all the stuff that we're doing doesn't do a bit of good unless you take action. We cannot sit here and act like the Gentiles and their lily white Caesar Borgia. Deliver us! You better take action. Because I'm calling out evil and I'm not biting my tongue. And just to make my point, the Most High did not tell me to hide my face.
Hey, I want to show my face too. Everybody else showing their face, I want to show mine.
He's saying that I lied about him taking the video down. Well, I didn't say he physically took it down. I said he had his people take it down.
Somehow he has access to do that. Once again, agent.
Look, is that something I can prove? No, I'm just telling you what happened. All right.
We just telling you our experience in that case. It's just puzzling. It's just puzzling. You're like, well, how did that happen? Twice.
So lie number 6 is he said took it down from YouTube, posted that the video on the Odyssey and Rumble account, blatantly lying that I had the video taken down, right? So I think he had it taken down. I didn't say he physically took it down himself. I'm still waiting for them to post the snapshot from YouTube to prove it. All YouTube told me that it was taken down, right? How am I gonna prove that it was him? That's my opinion. That it was him. That's my opinion. That it was him. That's my opinion.
I feel like slappin today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slappin today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slappin today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Predictable Trolling TEOTW Ministries made a post about me regarding the number of scamming and fraud allegations brought against their Dry Bones project. Okay. First of all, there's no scam against the Dry Bones project. The Dry Bones project is a loosely related relationship to promote going back to the continent and getting the information you need to get there. That's it. Everyone stands alone.
And that statement of ours has never changed since we started.
So I want to introduce you all to the Dry Bones project with this video that we all put together. And, you know, the idea is that T3ME, Stepping Stones to Home, and whoever else becomes a part of the Dry Bones project will be playing this as an outro or wherever within their videos, so that you know that they're a part of the Dry Bones project and to support them. So T3ME, what do you all think about the Dry Bones project and you all being, you know, a part of that, and you know, us coming together as a people around the world?
Well, I'll start off by saying thank you once again. We appreciate you, reaching out to us, and we're very joining this project with you, man. We appreciate it. We don't take life, that you see fit that we are one of the ones to spearhead one of this journey right now.
I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Lie number 8, he said to get their car repaired, saying that is because Ron and them are trying to get their own car repaired. That is not true, and we're going to talk about it.
At the end of the day, we remain faithful. She remains faithful because she knows what I'm doing is the will and the work of Yah. Because she sees and hears when people call and email, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is Ron. This is Ron. I can't believe you're talking. I'm talking to you. You changed my life and everything." And so, me and her prayed yesterday. She said everything's gonna be okay. I'm trusting, believing in Yah that things are gonna work out. And I said, well, yeah, because we have to get back to Africa, and six whatever they're telling me I have to pay. I really don't want to pay it, but I still don't want to be, broken down on the highway. Can't get back to Detroit. And this money that they're telling me I have to pay, I really want to put it towards the airline ticket, because here in America I have no home. I don't have no home. So my home is in South Africa, the home that we're renting. My vehicle is in South Africa, the one I use. So my main thing here, like I told her, is that do the stuff that we got to do here, get back to Detroit, hop on a plane, go back to South Africa. But this, of course, this hurdle, this arose during this conference, and it's something that now I'm faced with addressing. You know, I told Bishop Bailey what was going on. I told some other people what was going on with my vehicle, and they suggested that we at least ask the people here today and those that may be listening on YouTube if we can get any assistance.
I hate asking this stuff. I hate it because I know my people. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I was a Caucasian or a Jewish man or whatever, maybe I wouldn't be afraid. But we've been traumatized, all of us. Not only traumatized to give, but even to ask. Even something as simple as fixing a car. So we really plead with you, if you can help out. I'll let Bishop speak real quick and then we'll tell you how to give.
This leader of God, this Moshe, this Moses, in our midst, I'm going here. And guess what? I'm here. I'm here. I'm going to appeal to you today. I know how people don't talk to me about it. I've been around a long time. Now, I'm not one afraid going to ask you for anything because our moray, God bless their heart, they've been contaminated by the ordinary churches to not to ask you for money because they don't want to be contaminated with the same spirit. No. You have not because you ask not. Talk to me, somebody. You give as a sparling, you receive sparling. I'm going to appeal to you, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to talk to you like the church talks to you. We need some money. This man got a bill for over $6,000. It is enough of us in here to get it.
I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They said they investigated the matter internally. Defined they. Did they hire an independent auditor? Did they hire an independent investigator? Who did the investigation? We did the investigation. We don't need an auditor. We don't need an independent person. You could do that yourself, Pastor Kelly Richardson. You could do that yourself. You could do that yourself. You could do that yourself.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all got to give me a pass. Y'all got to give me a pass. Y'all got to give me a pass.
Let's turn it up a notch and take the gloves off as we continue to expose the Teo twins. In chapter 1 of this video, we clearly outlined how they blatantly lied about their European DNA, which revealed that they are related to Urti, the Iceman, through their father's lineage. They even manipulated their cited sources in a desperate attempt to claim they are Israelites. We also exposed their repeated failure to keep their word regarding the so-called 400-year prophecy. See, initially, they claimed that the second Exodus would occur in 2022. When that failed, they moved the date to the Passover 2023. But it didn't stop there. They later pushed the timeline to the end of 2023. And now they are teaching that it will happen by 2033. See, despite this series of failed predictions, they have the audacity to act as though they've accomplished something in their latest video they did on me. So I want to address Pastor Fletcher and others who have placed their trust in these self-proclaimed magpies, Heckle and Jekyll, Keith and King, to be your Moses, to be your Moses, to be your Moses.
So we had the discussion of the fact that, Yacoba, we are leaders in the community. You can't avoid it. So what we need to do, and this isn't really what I was supposed to get into, but because this really going to be a teaching. But what we really need, and it depends on you, the community, we need a panel of judges. We need a Moses figure. We need a panel of judges. We need a Moses figure. We need a panel of judges. We need a Moses figure.
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass.
Are these guys truly your king? Are these mentally unstable guys your Moses and Aaron? Are these double-minded characters your arbitrators? You've seen their lack of composure on multiple occasions, resorting to profanity and bullying tactics against those who call them out for manipulating DNA maps to falsely claim that they are Israel. See, I can easily and systematically dismantle every claim TEO Ministry has made about me. However, I'd rather use this as an opportunity to highlight the scams and deceptions targeting so many elderly people within this awakening. This issue needs attention, and the truth must be exposed. You heard the clip where Yakoba, whom I'll refer to him by his nickname, Trey, stated, "We did the investigation. We don't need an auditor. We don't need an independent person. You can do that yourself, Pastor Kelly Richardson."
They said they investigated the matter internally. Define they. Did they hire an independent auditor? Did they hire an independent investigator? Who did the investigation? We did the investigation. We don't need an auditor. We don't need an independent person. You could do that yourself, Pastor Kelly Richardson. You could do that yourself.
Now I want to say this to every victim caught up in this scam. Listen closely to what I am about to say. Let the actual experts be the experts. These individuals, along with Pastor Fletcher, are far from experts on this subject matter. In fact, they are compromised. These magpies, Heckle and Jekyll, Keith and King, are completely clueless about the role of an arbitrator under the Federal Arbitration Act. Let's prove it by examining Section 10A2 of the Federal Arbitration Act. In any of the following cases, the United States Court in and for the district wherein the award was made may make an order vacating the award upon the application of any party to the arbitration. Number 1, where the award was procured by corruption, fraud, or undue means. Number 2, where there was evident partiality or corruption in the arbitrators, or either of them. Simply put, the Federal Arbitration Act addresses issues related to arbitrators' impartiality and potential vested interests. Specifically, Section 10A2 of the FAA provides a mechanism for vacating an arbitration award where there is evidence of evident partiality or corruption in the arbitrators. I want to reiterate, this section allows a court to vacate an arbitration award if there is evidence of evident partiality on the part of the arbitrators. See, I've proved that these magpies, Heckle and Jekyll, Keith and King, have a vested interest in favor of T3andMe to protect their dry bones project. Listen again as TEO Ministry encourages their followers to support T3andMe.
So I want to introduce you all to the Dry Bones Project with this video that we all put together. And, you know, the idea is that T3andMe, Stepping Stones to Home, and whoever else becomes a part of the Dry Bones Project will be playing this as an outro or wherever within their videos, so that you know that they're a part of the Dry Bones Project and to support them.
Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 18 through 20 confirms and speak against arbitrators who have a vested interest with any of the parties. It says, "Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee, throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doeth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee." Now I want to introduce you guys to a hacker's tool called phishing or spear phishing. This is where hackers send emails posing as reputable contacts to someone in a targeted organization, hoping to trick the individual into sharing information or downloading malware. In this case, I made the following post that's still on my community channel that says, I just watched a video of people being scammed for their money, and one of them was scammed out of $23,000 under the second Exodus flee doctrine by those hiding in secret chambers. So why is this important? What's the significance of this post? Here's a screenshot of the actual comment posted in the chat during this discussion by Hephzibah Beulah, which Pastor Fletcher displayed on the screen. The video is titled Brutal. It was hosted on Pastor Fletcher's channel. The purpose of this discussion was to provide a platform for those who have been taken advantage of by T3andMe to voice their grievances. Let me be clear, Mama K was not part of this video. Not a single person who joined the panel mentioned being scammed out of $23,000. The only time this figure was brought up was in the chat by Hephzibah Beulah. This is why I couldn't stop laughing at the sheer arrogance displayed in the latest video the twins made about me. Furthermore, during this discussion, Dr. Galen Ben-Yah Ben Israel, at the 2-hour, 5-minute mark of this video, mentioned that he's handling complaints from several people who have collectively lost tens of thousands of dollars, with one individual losing over $15,000.
One of the things that's really important is there have been not only accusations and all those kinds of things, but people have to be able to process their emotions. In that call that we were on with Sister Bantu, there were at least 4 people that have mentioned how their money has been taken. I've had other people call me that have said their money's been taken. You cannot process this kind of thing when tens of thousands of dollars have been, whatever's happened, lost, whatever's happened to them, without dealing with the seriousness and the depth of the emotions. We have to handle these things in a way that then leads to a place where we can come together and talk. But unless people are able to process, their emotions and their thoughts and their feelings, we won't be able to get to resolution. You can't expect people to come to the table. Sister Mayatha called her, I can't pronounce her name right, but she lost a parent to her. I only know what she told me, so I can only say what she told me, but it was over $15,000. That's a lot of money for anybody, right or wrong, for whoever's right, to have said, I've lost that, I will never recover that, I'm a retiree.
So the point that I want to make here is the so-called Dr. DB, who wasn't even part of the video, was mentioned as having gotten her money back according to them. The total amount they claimed was $1,905 US. This means Yacoba, or should I say Trey, which is his nickname, along with his brother T3andMe, are swinging for the fences, but hitting nothing but air. However, in their attempt to deflect and cover themselves, they provided crucial information that completely incriminates them and their partner T3andMe. These guys took the bait. Let me say this again. These guys took the bait and handed over valuable evidence for those in Africa who are seeking proof of their unethical behavior and questionable business practices. So the question is, what valuable information was given in their response video? Let's begin with section 3 of their document, how property purchases are structured.
How property purchases are structured. Agreement through a memorandum of understanding. That's the agreement I told y'all about in the beginning. Buyers enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Eco Village company and the local representative, which is the guy we call GM.
This is coming directly from the horse's mouth. Section 3, how property purchases are structured. Agreement through MOU. Buyers enter into a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with the Eco Village company and the local representative. Now, I want to make this clear. The memorandum of understanding, MOU, where so-called buyers enter into an agreement with Eco Village Company and a local representative raises several legal red flags in the context of Tanzanian land law. In Tanzania, an MOU is not a legally binding document for land ownership. Again, as a foreigner, you can never buy land in Tanzania. You are only leasing and subleasing property. T3andMe does not own a single piece of land. What they are doing is leasing property. An MOU typically outlines intentions and understandings between parties, but it does not confer any legal rights or obligations regarding land ownership or leasehold rights unless it is followed by a properly registered lease agreement. So what are the legal risks? Number one, no legal land rights. An MOU does not grant leasehold rights to the foreign buyer. Number two, land can be reclaimed. The Eco Village Company or local representative retains legal control over the land and can reclaim at any time. Number three, disputes cannot be enforced. If a dispute arises, individuals leasing property cannot enforce the MOU in court to secure their rights to the land. Number four, fraudulent land sales. This structure is commonly used in land scams where foreigners are led to believe they own land but have no legal right. See, according to the Land Act number 4 of 1999, foreigners cannot own land outright in Tanzania. Foreigners can only acquire leasehold rights through the Tanzania Investment Center (TIC) or registered lease agreements. Any land transaction that circumvents the law, such as through proxy arrangements, is considered illegal and void. If the Eco Village Company, in this case T3andMe, who are actually leasing land as a minority shareholder or a local representative is holding land on behalf of a foreign buyer, the government could confiscate the land, as the arrangement would be seen as a fraudulent attempt to bypass Tanzanian land laws. Again, I want you all to understand that as a foreigner, it is impossible to own land outright in Tanzania. What is often referred to as land purchasing or land ownership is in reality nothing more than leasing or subleasing. Now let's focus on a critical point from the incriminating video shared by Teo and T3andMe.
Key points on title holding. Ownership by proxy. The title to the land is not held directly by the purchaser, but by the Eco Village Company or a designated Tanzanian representative.
Section 4, key points on title holding. Ownership by proxy. The title to the land is not held directly by the purchaser, but by the Eco Village Company or a designated Tanzanian representative. Ownership by proxy is illegal in Tanzania. Let me say that one more time. Ownership by proxy is illegal in Tanzania, period. You've seen the double talk from Yakoba, or should I say Trey, as he read through these documents. On one hand, he acknowledged that the land can only be leased, yet he throws around terms like ownership and purchase. They even presented and read from a poorly assembled, rushed document clearly created overnight in an attempt to slander me and cover themselves, which explicitly mentioned ownership by proxy. To be fair, I decided to run this entry as well as others through ChatGPT, and this is what ChatGPT says. The phrase ownership by proxy and the explanation you've shared are legally inaccurate and highly problematic under Tanzanian land laws. This approach raises serious legal red flags and could be considered a land scam or fraudulent practices. As you can see from this verbiage, ChatGPT has identified this as a scam. TEOTW Ministries can now officially be held accountable due to their vested interest through T3andMe. Now, to our elderly brothers and sisters in Tanzania, there is a way out. If you have been subjected to this arbitration-related scam in Tanzania by TEOTW Ministries, it is important to take the following steps to protect your rights and seek assistance. Gather all evidence, starting with this clip, agreements, communications, and receipts. These documents will be crucial for proving any misconduct or fraud. Contact the U.S. Embassy in Tanzania for immediate assistance. They can provide guidance and help liaise with local authorities. Report the incident to the Tanzania Fair Competition Commission. File a complaint with U.S. authorities through the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, at www.ftc.gov about this scam. This scam involves cross-border issues. Contact the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, at www.ic3.gov. Also, consult legal professionals who specializes in this area for help. Now, I prove that this violates the principles of fairness and involves corruption. You may be able to challenge the TEOTW twins under Section 10A2 of the Federal Arbitration Act in the United States courts. If not, they can provide the legal channels and course of actions you need to take to hold these guys accountable. Lastly, contact your local congressman. Don't be swayed by the misuse of scripture encouraging you to handle this matter internally. These people care only about themselves. Don't let them continue their deception. None of these guys are real estate attorneys, nor are they familiar with arbitration. Let the experts be the experts.
I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Who really is TEOTW Ministries? Who are these self-proclaimed magpies? Heckle and Jekyll, or should I say Keith and King, especially Yakoba, or should I call him by his nickname, Trey? The key is understanding relational data. In this case, TEOTW 7101. See, TEOTW 7101 is used in their email address. They use it in their Cash App. Well, what do you know? I found TEOTW 7101 Pinterest account with a display name TEOTW Wallace. What is TEOTW Wallace all about?
I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me a pass. Y'all gotta give me